The Accountant General's Department, AGD, administers and processes pension payments for over 33,000 government pensioners. The AGD is making it more convenient for pensioners to efficiently and effectively access their services through various platforms. Hi, I'm Shaquille Rochester Shorter, and welcome to Finance Matters. Joining us today to tell us more about the new and improved services at the AGD is Mr. David King, Acting Director of Communication and Customer Service. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow the Ministry of Finance on Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, TikTok, and now Threads to see all the episodes and highlights. Thank you, Mr. King, for being on our program today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so I know that AGD has always been making strides in reaching our pensioners. I want you to tell us now about the new ways that AGD has been reaching our pensioners.
All right, so thank you again for having me. One of the ways AGD has been trying to reach our pensioners is by digitizing the process. So one way is we're trying to infuse technology into how we do our processes. For example, our status portal is one of the ways we have that.
All right, so tell me about the status portal.
All right, so our status portal is accessible by our website. That's www.treasury.gov.jm, where pensioners can go on utilizing the unique pension number or reference number. They access the portal, so when they go on the website, it's at the top left-hand corner. They click the status portal section, input their pension number, and from there, they're able to see the status of their pension. When we refer to the status, what we're talking about is if they're active, inactive, or suspended. So once able to go on, they can see the date they submitted the pension, the life certificate. They're able to see when it's actually due, and should they require any additional feedback, they can actually contact us by the portal via email or request a call back from the office.
All right, so I get that is a little more efficient for our pensioners, but when I think of pensioners, I'm thinking of persons more elderly than you and myself, right? So what about the DropBox? Is that still happening at AGD?
Yes, so we do have a DropBox available at different parts of the island. So we know that sometimes our pensioners are located from Moran Point to Negril Point, and they can't always make it into Kingston. So what we utilize is provide a convenient service for pensioners at the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service at Hero Circle, at the parish libraries in Montego Bay, as well as in Mandeville, where pensioners can come in, drop up the life certificate documents, and we, the AGD, within a certain number of days, would go in, clear that DropBox, take it back to Kingston, record same, and again, our pensioners can go back on the status portal to verify that they actually have been received. This particular mechanism is safe, secure, and we encourage our pensioners who aren't able to actually come to the AGD during our office hours to utilize same at 21 Dominica Drive after office hours.
But how do I really know that when I put my life certificate in that box, it will get to AGD and it is safe? No one will tamper with my life certificate because I need it to get my pension.
Yes, so what the process looks like is it's an electronic DropBox. So persons can't necessarily go in without knowing the code as well. So once you go to the parish library or the Ministry of Finance, you import your life certificate in a particular envelope, you insert it. We have both a manual and electronic DropBox. So for the manual one, once you insert it, you tear off the verification to prove that you actually have submitted same. For the electronic one, once you insert it, it actually prints and timestamps the actual day and time you actually inputted the DropBox. And then from there, we have a specific turnaround time between 5 to 10 working days. We actually go to the different offices, Mandeville and St. James in particular, clear the DropBoxes, bring them in, go through where we actually vet the life certificates. So what we want to remind persons as well is that the life certificates must be stamped and signed by yourself and the JP. In instances, we know that there are some of our pensioners who have medical conditions that prevent them from signing it, whether they're visually impaired, they're handicapped, or based on their medical conditions, they aren't able to physically sign them. So for those pensioners, we ask that you get a medical report from your doctor, have it sent to us, it's placed on your file, and from there, we know, for example, Miss Mary in Clarendon is unable to sign hers, so her medical doctor will stamp and sign, leave it unsigned, and she can then submit it and keep receiving her pension going forward.
This seems as if AGD is thinking about every kind of situation that our pensioners can be in. And I love that for the Accountant General's Department.
Thank you, thank you.
Mr. King, we know that there have been changes to the pay slips. Tell us about that.
All right, so again, part of our digital transformation of the AG looks at ensuring we are becoming a more modernized treasury. Now, as you can see, more and more persons are retiring at different ages, and the ones that are retiring now are a little more tech savvy than some of our older and other pensioners, right? So what we're doing now is utilizing what we call My Pensions Plus that provides our pensioners with a myriad of options and opportunities to both submit and verify information. So the new payslip, for example, looks at providing our pension with a more financial responsibility by providing them a breakdown of the actual pension year to date, looks at the deductions as well, and provides them with a quick snapshot of the actual payments. So for example, we're now in the third quarter of our life certificate process. So now when they receive their pension life certificate via email, the post office, or they may request it from us via our social media pages or website via live chat. Yeah, man, so you can contact us on our social media pages at the Treasury JA, that's on Twitter and also on Instagram. Once you send an email to us or a message to us via those mechanisms, we can respond, send it to you via those mechanisms. So the life certificate now is in two sections. The top piece has life certificate with information, your name, your address, TRN, pension number as well. At the bottom of it is actually your pay advice for the most recent month. So the life certificate that's due the end of October will have your life certificate and the pay advice for August. And again, it provides those details. So how much you're being paid, the breakdown, your allowances, your deductions, and a snapshot year to date of your actual payments so far.
Okay, awesome. So quickly before we go, Mr. King, I want you to tell our pensioners 3 things that they should remember when they're doing their life certificate or anything in general about the AGD.
All right, so 3 things I want to remind the pensioners. 1 is to ensure that when you are submitting a life certificate, you ensure it is stamped and signed by the authorized and approved agents. That is Justice of the Peace, Inspector of the Police, Minister of Religion, or somebody employed to the government service at a level of SCG or above. The information is actually printed on the life certificate, so it's easier in case you forget. 2, we want to also remind our pensioners to utilize our services. The DropBoxes, if you aren't able to make it to us in Kingston, and the status portal online just to verify that you are in fact active. And thirdly, I want to remind not just our pensioners, but just all of Jamaica to follow us online at Instagram or X, formerly Twitter, at DAGD to get all the information as well. And we're available online via our website, live chat, via WhatsApp, and also via telephone lines as well.
Well, thank you, Mr. King, for coming on our program today and letting us know how the AGD is making life easier for our pensioners.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of Finance Matters. Remember to follow us on social media at MOF Jamaica and tune in next week as we continue to demystify the economic and fiscal policies and initiatives implemented by the government to empower Jamaicans as we chart a path to Jamaica's economic prosperity.